right? Deflect down, step forward, parry, punch. This is just one way variation, but someone punches, he deflect down this way. It's not a hit, it's a whole body sits on it, right? So if he punches like I'm here, I use my other hand, I can control him, right? So he comes in, I yield here, pressing, my whole body sits and controlled, right? It's a little misleading or confusing, I should say, because there's a lot of Ting Jin in everything we do, right? Listening energy, sensitivity, trying to feel center, so on. And everything you do, there's never just one thing being done. There's a whole lot of things. So if you hit, there's a whole lot of hits in there. There's a whole lot of adjustments, I should say, in any one movement. There's a ton of adjustments. So, but basically what happens if I come here and I start to come this way. Now I'm sitting with everything, but when I feel resistance, if I go here, for some reason, if I'm feeling some resistance because of his positioning or what he's able to do as a natural response at some point, I just don't continue to drive through that resistance because that doesn't work. It's not Tai Chi, it's not scientific. So when I sit, as soon as I hit resistance, I move over, I turn my waist a little bit, just a little bit. I change position, now downward pressure. If I feel resistance again, turn my waist, downward pressure, turn my waist, downward pressure, turn my waist, downward pressure, turn my waist, downward, all the way until he's off. Now, all of this happens very quickly, obviously. It's a smooth transition to the resistance that I feel from him. I have to adjust to him. It's not me just doing what I want to do, because if he's very powerful, I just can't drive right through it. So when he comes in and hits, I'm coming here, it looks like I just came here and maybe just did one smooth movement. But remember, he's trying to keep his balance at the same time I'm doing this. He's trying to react to what I'm doing in whatever way he can react. What does that mean? He doesn't want to come along, right? So I have to make it so that he doesn't have a choice but to come along. And the way you do that is you try to take away his ability to resist. You try to take away his ability to maintain his balance, right? You want to remove that so that he's falling the whole time, right? He's falling, so he has to come. And as he's falling, you're putting more pressure and more angle, more turn on it, right? So he's falling faster and faster, right? And getting driven down until you just whip him out. So he just goes flying out because the amount of pressure and angle overwhelms his sense of balance and he just gets thrown out. And him getting thrown out isn't really me throwing him out. It's just that him trying to react so furiously to what I'm doing to maintain his balance, he actually creates all kind of pressure in himself and he throws himself out, okay? It's technically what happens. So in this case here, coming here, pressing, turning, and depending on what you feel from him, you might continue to press and turn. Every time I feel resistance, I want to turn. So that's like taking him away from his center, right? More and more. And then I can go down. If I feel more pressure, I take him all the way from the center and then more down. He's struggling to cling to his center. Now, all of this will take place in less than a second. But then again, that's what you've been training for, right? That's what you've been pushing hands and learning how to stick and all your Ting Jin and everything else that you know, that's what you're training for, to put it into a situation that happens in a second or less, right? And slowly, I'm going to see, I'm